Please explain why there is no library, even a satellite unit in North Chatham County. Libraries are the fundamental basis to education for children, adults, and the community in general. Why was the mobile unit discontinued, and how can the county urge the board to reinstate its very vital contribution to the community as a whole? Starting with Mr. Cross.
Well, the bookmobile, of course, was because of streamlining our budget, and it was also part of the librarian's recommended budget. Everyone was given the direction to come up with certain cuts that they could make with their budget, and our librarian chose to keep the money in the house at the library. That bus, however, has been turned over to the school system to deliver books for summer programs for school kids. We have on our capital improvement plans discussion planned for, I believe, the January summit to discuss a library for Northeast Chatham. It's like most of all the improvement, all the money we spend, they talk about how much is spent in the Northeast. Well, your requirements come where the population is, and that's why this is happening. Same is going to happen with a high school and another elementary school and these things. So I don't know when we will have a library in Northeast, but I'm sure we will. However, I will mention that among the things that are required by the county from the state to provide, library is not one of them. That is a item that you do because the community needs it. It's not on the list as fire or police officers or schools. But anyway, there will be upcoming discussions. We have talked about adding one to our capital improvement list. And I'm over again. Thanks.
I unfortunately don't have the experience relative to the bookmobile. I've heard a number of stories about it. I believe the key will be as the schools are developed in the Northeast, there would be an associated library with them, and I would definitely be in favor of putting forth that type of effort to get that there in the Northeast. Thank you.
When we passed the 7-year capital plan last year, I asked that the new library in the Northeast be added as a future capital need. It means there wasn't the funding for it, but at least we got it on the radar screen. But as you all know, I was a big advocate for keeping the bookmobile because I know that it services two of our largest taxpayers in Chatham County, where people are, many of them are no longer driving, and that's Galloway Ridge and Carolina Meadows. So here we have two of the largest taxpayers in the community, and yet we turn our backs on them when it comes time to provide the bookmobile service to them. I think the most frustrating part of that whole experience was the failure of this Board of Commissioners to look at alternatives. It was no bookmobile or yes bookmobile. They didn't look at revising the schedule. They didn't look at stops. Look, if you're going to look at services, you need to identify alternatives and perhaps find a way to provide them more efficiently. But out of an $85 million budget, folks, we're talking about $44,000.
In a world where everybody's taxes are up to just about wherever they can stand, every $44,000 counts. Speaking as somebody who got a Kindle for Christmas a couple of years ago in return for a promise not to put any more bookcases in my house, I will tell you that the reason why libraries are suffering wherever they go is because of the internet. And all the young people down there from high school and early adulthood that I used to see at the library when I was younger are no longer there because they're on Google doing the same research, only faster. And trying to, I'd be happy to talk about another library in the northeast part of the county, but I will tell you, as things stand right now, with the state of the economy the way it is, with the state of taxes the way they are, and with the amount of money that we still have to put into education, that might be something that will have to wait. I'd like to see it in the future, but it might not happen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next question.